Welcome back, StarGamers. You've reached StarGamer.space. Today we are reviewing Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, the campaign specifically, which was surprisingly amazing. We've all had those low expectations for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. The boots on the ground brigade were bitching, more like bitches on the ground, and we didn't expect much. It didn't look like much. It looked like, I don't know what, it didn't look like Call of Duty, and there was just a lot of low expectations. The multiplayer beta didn't assuage that fear. I mean, it was just plain old Call of Duty with a sci-fi skin on it, and I certainly wasn't impressed. It didn't feel very sci-fi to me. But the sci-fi aspect was what drew me to Infinite Warfare, for better or for worse, and I have to say, it is hard sci-fi and it is well done. The ships are believable. You can see the Martian ships have their own design plan. Looks like they're never going to enter atmosphere. But when you look at the USNA ships, they almost look like wet Navy ships, like they're going to go into the water and float around. And like at first that seems kind of silly, seems kind of ridiculous, but when you get a good look at them and they're all smooth on the bottom, you can actually see the ceramic tiles just like the space shuttle. And it looks like they're meant to re-enter, so it makes sense that the bottom of them would actually look all smooth and tiled, like they're going to use aero braking to re-enter an atmosphere, the atmosphere of Earth. UNSA is the Earth team, if you will, and the bad guys, the set def, they're the Martians. I don't know why Martians are always bad, but they are. And they do have anti-gravity in this. They would kind of have to. How would those ships make sense if they didn't have some kind of way, some kind of gravity field to make you stick to the ground from inside and actually lift those beasts up into the air? That's the size of a regular aircraft carrier right there, and they're lifting it into the sky. Imagine how much energy that would take. Now here's the Pelican, or their version of the Pelican. It's a dropship, folks. I mean, who cares who borrowed what from what? There's dropships in Aliens, in Halo, and in Infinite Warfare. And you know what? Sometimes there's just one best way to do things. It's basically an airplane, or a jet, and it's aerodynamic, and it's kind of fat, like a Pelican, so that you can fit a tank inside, or a bunch of troops, or what have you. I mean, what else is it going to look like? Right? I mean, like the Tidarian shuttle or something? Like Star Wars is way out there. This is supposed to be the Earth, right? In actual reality, in actual physics and everything. So I wouldn't worry too much about, who borrowed what from what. Because Halo, I mean, the Halo itself was borrowed from Ringworld, although Halo is probably far beyond more popular than Ringworld ever will be. And we've talked about the dropships and Sergeant Johnson from Halo. I mean, he's pretty much Sergeant Apone from Aliens. And so what? I mean, stop worrying about who got what from what. Like, all armor suits are going to look pretty much the same. Guns are going to look pretty much the same. There's one end is the business end, the other end you put into your shoulder. I mean, what else are they going to look like, right? Although, they do make a good try in Infinite Warfare and make some very interesting looking weapons. And there's just a lot of good ideas, and good ideas are going to be copied. I mean, they didn't build rocket ships because Jules Verne sketched one out that, it would basically be a big stack with an explosion on one end. But all rockets pretty much look the same because that's the best way to build a rocket. And we knew that before we even built a rocket. So there you go. I'm happy with the sci-fi. It looks pretty awesome. And it makes sense, and I just love it. It's amazing. And it complements the campaign very well. The campaign has a huge, awesome, grand scale. You have this solar system map once you get going. And, I mean, look at this. The campaign is heart-pounding. It's fun. I mean, it's exciting and realistic. Absolutely loved playing it. Don't miss out on this one, StarGamers, because it's absolutely amazing. So, the solar system map is excellent. It's almost RPG-like. If you play Dragon Age Inquisition, There's main story level campaigns, the main campaign mode missions that you can actually pick when you play. Or you can do a side mission to get that plus 10 power sword or whatever it is. In this, it's better weapons for your jackal. That's what you're flying right now. And these things must be energy pigs. Imagine the kind of thrust it would take to launch an aircraft carrier into orbit. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. The reasons that the Earth is so energy poor and driven into outer space is like, look at how they waste it. It's amazing. And frankly, I love it. I mean, this is the kind of future I want to live in. So, very, very, very good campaign. Absolutely loved it. And you can pick critical missions when you're ready for them, or you can do side missions that are just flying, where all you do is flying these jackals. The jackal is the spaceship that you're looking at right now, and you get better weapons and everything. And like, it's not atmospheric flying. You can hover, you can go backwards. It's actually a lot of fun playing these, and sometimes you don't even get out of the cockpit if you don't want to. And then there's other missions where you combine 0G combat and flying. So you're flying around, and then you can actually, once you've disabled the ship, pretty much, you can park your jackal right next to it, hop out of the cockpit, and you're floating around. You can move up, you can move down, side to side. You've got a grappling hook. You can grapple onto debris or asteroids or what have you. It's a lot of fun. I mean, sneaking around enemy ships and disabling their engines and all kinds of great stuff. And of course, they explode really nicely as well. We definitely like that at STARGAMER.space. So I really liked how the game is set up. And, you know, when you're just forced to do one mission after the other, it's kind of tedious. You know, I really like the solar system mode where you can actually pick. Like, in Halo, it's one emergency after another. You have to do this, and you have to do this, and you have to go there, and you have to fight these people. And you feel more in control when you have this solar system map that you're looking at right now. And you can jump to different locations and everything as you're watching. It is just great. Now, the only complaint I have about the campaign, which is amazing, is that the villains are a bit one-dimensional. That's a bit disappointing. You'd never really figure out, why are the Martians such assholes? Why does anyone follow these assholes? And they'll kill you for nothing. And Jon Snow, Kit Harington, is the main bad guy. Koch is his name, and he's the head asshole. And you know, for such one-dimensional villains, it has to be said that Kit Harington really brings Koch to life. You know, that's the mark of a good actor, is when you don't see them acting. When you see them, you actually believe that they're actually the character. And you see that Koch actually believes in what he's talking about, even though nobody understands what the hell he's talking about. He's, you know, Mars Eternal. And you believe it. You believe what he's talking about, but you don't understand, like Mars Eternal, why? So that they could not care about you and kill you? What's the point? What's the point of Mars Eternal? That question is never answered in the campaign so far, and it never will be, because this will have no sequel. I almost wish that Infinity Ward actually took this out of the Call of Duty campaign, you know, took it out of the Call of Duty brand, because Call of Duty, okay, makes it sell. People love Call of Duty. They'll buy anything called Call of Duty. But this almost deserves to be its own IP. It's really a lost opportunity, and you know, makes me hope that some other company is going to look at this and say, yeah, we can do that. Here's some 0G combat. It's amazing. You're going to climb into the cockpit. Love this stuff. And that's why I gave it 4 out of 5 exploding starships. I mean, it's just amazing good fun. It could be better in some aspects here and there. So I had to take one exploding starship off, but in general, I mean, this is amazing. This is everything I want in a game. I mean, you've got combat, you've got flying, you've got an amazing story. So what if the villains are a bit one-dimensional? I mean, even the Nazis, you look into the Nazis and you understand how they were beaten down after World War One, and Hitler wrote his crazy ideology while he was in prison and everything. There's some meat there when you study the Nazis and why they were the way they were. Sure, they were evil. Sure, World War II was black and white. But you can understand them. And if you understand them, then you know how to beat them. And it's the same thing with the Islamic State. So, you know, they're ultimately evil. They're even worse than the Nazis in a lot of ways. They don't care. The Nazis hid their crimes, but the Islamic State is proud of it. They think that's the way it should be. And when you research them and you look into their books and where they get their motivations, you understand how they're so evil. But these Martians, the set def, they're just plain evil. And I wish there was a little bit more explanation, a little less black and white. And that would have made the game a 5 out of 5. So we gave it a 4 out of 5, which is still excellent. It was very well enjoyable. It's money well spent, the basic version. You don't need any like weapon skins or any silliness like that. Just get the basic version. Just play it for the campaign.
That's what it's come down to.
Stargamers will enjoy a roaring good sci-fi with no apologies. Don't miss out on this game. It is absolutely fantastic, and very, very much enjoyed playing it. So, lock in coordinates to stargamer.space, hop by the website, check it out. I got all kinds of other videos and more on the way. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You know, I don't do this for money, I don't do this for likes and subscribers, but definitely it gives you sort of a authority when you've got a lot of likes and a lot of subscribers. So make sure if you like what I'm saying, if you like what I'm bringing to the table, make sure you subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and make sure we get our voices heard, right? Because otherwise the bitches on the ground brigade are gonna, you know, make you a whole bunch of friggin' Vietnam shooters and boring ass shit when you could be blowing up fucking starships and wicked shit like that. That's what it's all about, Stargamers. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you come back next time. Subscribe. We're on Facebook too. Go like our page on Facebook. Like, subscribe, visit the website, all that good stuff. Retweet our stuff. Follow us. We're on Twitter as well. And we'll see you next time, Stargamers. Once again, lock in coordinates to stargamer.space and punch it!
He's down!